this is the JavaScript code. You see finally we need to initialize the swiper in JavaScript. So it means this JavaScript file, we could type it ourselves, but then let us copy it so we can speed things up, and then I would explain what is going on in there. So you copy that, then come down to, this is our JavaScript, the link to our JavaScript file. So we'll go to our app.js and then we'll paste that particular file in there. So when we paste and we save, so just on their website, you go and then you copy that, and then you come here and then you paste. So let's review this so we can see now. You see now I can click on the buttons and it works, but then it's sliding vertical. Okay, it's sliding the contents vertical, and then you can also see the navigations and then its paginations here. The pagination is just lying below that, and then the slide, this one is at the left side. So at least we have something and it's working, okay, out of the box. Okay, so do you all have it up to where I've gotten to?
No, please, sir. How did you get access to the code in the app.js?
Okay, so it's on the swiper page. Okay, swiper.js page. So when you go here, I scroll down a bit. You see it's a long page. So the first step is how you bring in your HTML code. Okay, the format is like this, where you create a container for a div container and name it swiper, give it a class of swiper. Now these things have been preset in their library, so automatically when you use these names, it maps to the names they have used in their codes, and then it begins to inherit those functionalities, properties of the library. So if you don't type it exactly as they have it here, it won't work. It may not map to the function, the name they have used in the library. So they said you use a class and then you create your div containers in here, and this is where the images reside, and the buttons also reside here. Then when you go down a bit, this is where you actually target the swiper class and then set a height and width for it, right? So I have then done that in CSS, and this for CSS. So when you look at this place, so it means you have to go into your CSS file, base.css, and then target the .swiper, and then you set a height and a width for it. So this is what I have. Then you go to the, even aside using their library, you also have other JS file functionalities you need to also set, and that is what they have on the page. So when you scroll down a bit, it says initialize swiper. So you could recall that before I place this in there, when I click a button, it doesn't really slide, nothing happens. But then the moment I pasted this, and because the app.js file in my project is linked to the index.html, and then base.css is also linked, the moment I start using this, it automatically linked to that swiper container I have created here, right? And then automatically the page starts working. So I got that particular section from here. It's still on their page, so you just copy that. We'll be changing certain things here in here, and we'll be adding some other stuffs also. But then this is the basic layout in order to get yourself started putting your things in. Okay, so that is it. Then have you gotten it?
Yes, please.
So is it working? Yeah.
No, but I think I'll have to go to it later.
No, but then you still can follow up. It is very straightforward, right? What we did is to just create a container class. Those who just came, we have created an HTML index.html, a new file, and then we created a boilerplate for that. Okay, this code, we use the emits to create this, and then we went to swiper.js, swiper.js.com. okay, swiper.js.com is an animation library for banners, okay, and cards. So we came in here to the official website by typing swiper, and then the first link that Google gave us was that. So when you go to Google, all these things should be in your toolbox, right? You just have to write them down, and anytime you need some of these animations, you just go there and then integrate them. So we have this, and when we get to React.js, we'll also be using the same thing there. Aside you building your own, you can also use this ones in React and Next.js. So I just type swiper here, and then it brought me to this page, and there's this link is the first one you see there, which is swiper.js.com. You just click on that, and then it takes you to the official website, right? You can even see some animations here. You can also preview some of them, okay? So when you go to get started, you can actually go in and then choose some of them and view them. But even on the main page, I think here I played with some of them. Let me see. I think I clicked on some of them and they started giving me that. Okay, so you go to resource. Let me see here too. Resources and demos. So resources and demos at the top there, and you can actually see some of them here. You click on that, and then you click on preview. Okay, it has the preview tab here, and then it has the download. You can download or you can preview. So when you click on preview, there is it. When I click and slide, this is the effect you will get when you use that particular animation. This is the effect you will get. Okay, but then the ones they have on their site for you to integrate does not have images inside it. You would have to insert your own image. So that's how come this one, it's looking so empty. The only thing you see there is the test, but it's still working, and eventually we'll get it to work the way we want it. Okay, so please make sure so that is the effect. Now it's a very simple thing, please. So it's something you can quickly follow, and because we are copying some of the things and pasting to explain, you can also just copy them and paste. The step is here when you go to getting started, right? Where is my getting started? Let me go back here. I think. Okay, so you go to the docs, and then getting started is also here. On the main page, you can see, forget about this part. We will get there soon, but we have not gotten there yet. So we are not installing by npm. So just skip all the way to where it says use swiper from CDN. Okay, use swiper from CDN. The first step is for you to copy this link, and this first one is a CSS file. So you see swiper bundle.minified edition.css. You copy this whole thing here, and then go and paste in your head section of your HTML page. You just paste it. Even if you don't format it, it will still work. So just paste it there, and that's it. And then also go back to the same place, and then at the bottom of it, you see the scripts. copy the script also, and then come before the closing body tag, just paste that script in there and save your file. Then create a div with a class of container. This one you create it yourself, a div with a class of container, right? And then it gives you that container div there. Then you also create the header, the main, the footer. Header, main, and footer elements, you create them. And then in the header, just copy this particular template for add swiper HTML layout. That's the basic layout to create your banner. So just come here and then copy this. You can copy with the comments. Just copy everything. Select, click and drag, click and drag over that to select. Then right click to copy and just come and paste the whole thing here. Okay, paste the whole thing here, and that is all. That's what I've collapsed here. And then I said because my images are, it's up to 3 and then some dots, just delete the dots. And because my images I have in the folder here there are 4 of them. The images here are 4. That's why I created 4 of that. So when I download new images of that dimension and pour it here, and I want to use it as for a banner, I just would have to include that number of div swiper with a class of what, swiper slide in there, and then it will match with the images. Currently we have not placed the images in there yet. We are only using the slide slide 1, slide 2 to fill in the space, and that is what will show on the slide currently. So we have the HTML, you paste and then you just collapse it. Okay, that is all we did for this page. And then on the official page, they said you need to also set the height of that wrapper, the swiper wrapper, okay, which is the div class, the first one. Sorry, the swiper itself, not the wrapper. It's the wrapper. You have main container for that, and that is a reference that you have been given in the documentation here, that targets the dot wrapper, and then the width and height you want to use, you just set it to the container. So if I want a width of 500 px, 200 px, you just come here, you just go into, it's not here, you just go to your CSS and target that particular dot swiper and then your curly brace and put the width and height inside it, and that is going to go into your CSS base.css file you have created. And then in the base.css file we also had okay, Blessing, I can now see your message. You are still lost. So we are replacing the images. So you do this also, img, and then we have images with that. So make sure you have this. Okay, let's take out the source set. And then let's see. So now I have these images on the page.